Welcome. This is a lecture series. Please have your paper and pencils ready to take notes. The better your notes, the more they will assist you later. I will ask you to pause the video and write down certain items on the screen. Let's go. Today we're discussing Oklahoma Academic Standard 8.6.R.1, 8th grade, Standard 6, Reading, Point 1. This standard is focusing on research, and even though we're focusing on research, we still have a component of reading. The reading standard here is students will use their own viable research questions and well-developed thesis statements to find information about a specific topic. Please pause the video and write down what this standard is about. We need to develop viable research questions. So how can we do this? Sometimes, for instance, like on a state standardized test or an assignment from your teacher, you're given a topic. Then what you're going to do is you're going to look at that topic, or you're going to take the question that's in that topic and you're going to use that question. If you're just given a topic with no question attached, then you're going to develop your own main question. If you choose your own topic, then you need to start broad and narrow it down until you're focused on one issue. Be very careful not to have a question that is too broad or too narrow. You want to be able to research your subject without having too much information or too little. For example, if we had the topic of diseases, there are so many ways we could go. But one way that would be too broad is if we narrowed it down to a question of what diseases were discovered since 1900. Can you imagine how large of a topic that would be? Just Google that question and find that out. Now, too narrow of a question would be what diseases were discovered on January 1st, 2000 at noon. That is so narrow of a topic that we may not even have an answer for such a thing. So we want to think of our research question as something that's going to be a map of our research, and it's going to help us to write our paper. Please pause the video and write down on developing viable research questions. So let's look at some examples. Just say, for example, you're given a topic. Does McDonald's or Burger King have a better burger? Or does childhood obesity lead to an early death? These are questions. You do not have to go any further. They are the central question. They are a place where you are given the topic and you don't have to look for a main question. Now, for example, if you're given a topic like for a research assignment that's basically just saying television viewing, now you're going to have to develop a good question for this broad of a subject. So could you perhaps come up with questions like this? I've come up with 3. Is there a link between television viewing and violent behavior in children under 16? That's a researchable question. How about how many hours of television viewing is appropriate for children under 10? That's a researchable question. Or does television viewing hurt children's eyesight? That's also a good question that we can use to develop. So if you're given a topic, go with that question. If you're given a question within the topic, go with that question. If you're just given a topic, like from your teacher, for a large research project, then you have to develop that good question for that broad subject. Now, once you've chosen your question, keep in mind your question is extremely important because now you're going to develop a thesis statement. You may do quite a bit of research before you develop this thesis statement. But once you have researched the answer to your question you have developed, you are going to answer that question. That answer is going to be your thesis statement. So think of your thesis statement this way. It states the main idea of the writing assignment. It's going to answer your question. It's going to control that information you put on your paper, kind of like a roadmap. It's not just a topic. Remember our example, television viewing? That's a topic. This is going to inform your reader how you feel about the topic, what your opinion is now that you have created a research bank of ideas and opinions and information from all the research you've done. It's going to directly answer the question that you developed to narrow down your research topic. It may even be a claim that other people will dispute, because there are usually two sides to most arguments. It's usually one single sentence that's near the beginning of your assignment that presents your position. Then the rest of your paper is going to take time to state that evidence that's going to support your thesis statement. So are you seeing now why the question is so important? We must take a topic, narrow it down, or take the question we've been given, research it, then develop our thesis statement. So now it's time to begin your research. What will you do? You're going to either look in print or you're going to look in digital. In the following standards under 8.6, 8th grade standard 6, we're going to discuss this process in more detail. So this standard was about students using their own viable research questions and well-developed thesis statements to find information about a specific topic. Now that we've talked about making our own research question unless it's been provided for us, we're going to also look at using those thesis statements to find information about a specific topic. Please practice these skills, use your notes whenever you're given a research assignment for reading and for writing from your parent or from your teacher. Take assessments to ensure that you have mastery of the skill. In this instance, a research paper itself will be the assessment to ensure that you have mastery of these skills. Thank you for joining me today.